This is the first episode of WandaVision, filmed before a live studio audience.
Yeah.
I'm not describing the episode by saying it's filmed before live studio audience. I'm saying it is called Film
Yeah,
Before
no,
Live. That
yeah,
is the
yeah.
episode title. Josh, would you like to give a rundown?
Yeah, so it kicks off with Wanda and Vision arriving at their new home in Westview. Do we know it's Westview yet?
Yep.
Yeah, right, okay. So we start off with some good comedy in the opening. Do we call it opening credits? Is that what it's
Um,
called?
I believe it's called a cold open.
Well, no, because it's more of the credits at the beginning. It's not actually the cold open before the opening credits. Cold opening generally comes before the opening
Oh,
credits.
the opening titles.
Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, so it starts off with them driving in. Vision tries to carry Wanda through the door. I thought that was pretty funny.
Mm. Yes.
And then
Vision just goes straight through the door with his powers, and Wanda falls down.
yeah. Anyway, so they sit on the couch and the episode begins. So it starts off with Wanda in the kitchen cooking because this is 1950s American sitcoms. That's all the women did.
Yep.
And using her magic to
Um,
clean the dishes.
yeah. Anyway, so then Vision comes in. She chucks a plate at his head because obviously,
Mm.
and she says, "My husband with the indestructible head," which is kind of like, oh yeah, he had the Infinity Stone whipped out his head in Infinity War.
Yeah.
So
Of
it's kind of
course.
alluding to that.
Of course. Wanda also said, "Oh no." Vision also says, "My wife and her flying saucers," which I'd say is
Yeah,
a reference to something, but I'm not sure it is. Uh,
I
um,
think it is, but I'm not sure what the reference is.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no, it's a
one.
reference to something, but I'm not sure what the reference is.
I mean, Wanda doesn't come from outer space. Wanda's only
No,
fought
but
aliens once,
well, technically her powers come from space,
I suppose.
theoretically.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so it goes through that. He turns into kind of puts the facade over his head of a human.
Yep.
Um, they're discussing what the day is because there's a heart on the calendar.
Yep.
Neither of them know what it is. Um,
Which is
then,
weird, because Vision can remember everything, right?
Hmm.
well, you'd like to think so. But anyway, so Vision goes to work and he works for a computational company. What do? Make computational forms. What's that? No clue.
Yep. It's kind of a reference to how in this era of sitcoms, the husband would just go and do work, and,
Yeah.
and it's never explained what that work is or anything. So it's kind of a
Yeah,
reference
so
to that.
anyway. Um, then does Agnes show up at this point as well? Yeah, so Agnes shows up, who's their next door neighbor, I
Yep.
think. Yeah, she lives next door. Anyway, so she turns up and she introduces herself and all that,
Yep.
and she's talking to Wanda about, oh, what day is it? How long are you married and all that? And
Have
then
you had
Wanda
children?
kind of comes to the conclusion that it's hers and Vision's anniversary.
Yep.
And then Agnes starts talking about her husband, Ralph.
Hmm. And of course, Agnes suggests some seduction techniques.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, so Agnes seems to mention that her wedding anniversary is June 2nd. Um, sort of an Easter egg here. That's the date of the Salem witch trials.
All right. And of course, Wanda is a witch, so that's referenced.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sort of.
Shut up, Josh. Just if I try to say something to obscure a spoiler, go with it.
It's an Easter egg. That's the point of an Easter egg. It's
Ugh.
meant to. Anyway, yeah, so they discuss all that, and so Wanda thinks it's their anniversary, so she gets ready for such.
Hmm.
In the meantime, Mr. Hart, Vision's boss,
Yep.
says that, oh, we're looking forward to coming over to dinner to yours tonight. And Vision was like, oh, the Hart means Mr. Hart's coming to dinner.
Hmm. Which is
So,
yeah, which is kind of like, why wouldn't you just write Mr. Hart dinner or something like that? Why have you got to be cryptic?
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's an
Anyway.
outside force doing it. I don't know.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So Vision calls up Wanda, and they both talk about what they think it is without revealing it because they don't want to.
It's a
Want
bit
them to
weird that
remember.
they've just arrived in town and they already have a dinner date with Vision's boss planned.
Yeah, and Vision's already looking for a promotion.
Yeah, it's a bit. But oh well.
Although,
Got to
to be
respect the
fair,
grift.
I think the
Mhm.
meeting with his boss is also most used to get to know him because the other guy, because there's a brief moment where they have the last guy who had a dinner date, and like they list how he had like this fancy six courses wasn't enough, like the string quartet or like the really fancy orchestra, no, not good enough, and so he was sacked.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
but was he sacked? Because doesn't he? Oh, doesn't he appear later on in that episode still working there or something? I don't know.
don't think so. That'd
Uh,
be a bit of a
anyway,
glaring issue.
anyway, so yeah, so that he goes home with Mr. and Mrs. Hart. So what did they swing by his house, Mr. Hart's house, on the way home to pick her up? Seems a bit like it happened later in the day, but because it just
Oh well.
seems a bit weird.
Hmm.
It just seems a bit weird that they go in there straight from work.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Wanda's in this sort of bed nightwear, which
Yeah.
is not, dinner. Shall I just say dinner, like wear?
Appropriate.
Yeah, it's not
Pro-
dinner appropriate.
Probably one of Agnes's seduction techniques.
Yeah, yeah, no, it
Uh,
definitely is.
so of
God knows
course.
I was seduced.
So Jesus Christ. The idea is Vision would come into the house. It's all dark. Wanda would put her hands over Vision's eyes and be like, "Guess who?"
Yeah,
Of course, it doesn't turn out like that because Vision has Mr. and Mrs. Hart with him. Vision goes to check where Wanda is, and Wanda comes into the room, puts her hands over Mr. Hart's
Mr.
eyes.
Hart, yeah.
Hmm.
And then she plays it off as a Sokovian greeting
Of course.
thing.
Europeans, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Hart doesn't seem to like Europeans.
No. As is
Anyway,
customary for the time.
yeah. So, well, Eastern Europeans, but yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think they minded. Actually, it's America. They probably did hate everyone.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, so yeah, they play it off as that, and then Wanda goes out into the kitchen to cook. Then obviously she doesn't have anything to cook, so Agnes turns up
Yep.
and
In the
brings some
nick of
stuff for her
time.
to cook.
Yep.
Yeah. She leaves her all the recipes and stuff.
And a full chicken.
Yeah. And then so she starts cooking, and it sort of isn't going well.
Hmm.
Does she set the chicken on fire? Does she cook it too hot? I think so.
She used her powers to try to cook it, but she cooked it too much.
Although
Yeah.
first she undercooked it in a very literal sense, reverting it back to egg form.
No, that happens after
No,
she
that was
tries to
after.
undo the overcooking.
Oh, and then does she Okay. Oh, yeah, 'cause
Nope.
the
No,
eggs
she
are then
doesn't.
used in the recipe.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, they do that, and then there's like some loud bangs and stuff, and
Yeah,
Mrs. Hart tries to go out into the kitchen to open the things while Wanda's doing her magic, and Vision just turns around and starts singing.
Yep,
Um,
he sings a song that was on the radio earlier. I think it's called Yakety Yak.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then they have the "Oh McDonald Had a Farm" sing along,
Yes.
which I'm not sure was out at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not. But I don't think that's an anachronism. I think that's just Vision
No, but it's
knows.
more. No, but that's more. Why would he know that song if they're in 1950s?
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Oh no, it was out. It came out in 1917. That's fine.
Oh, right. Thank you for doing the research.
Anyway, so yeah, so that happens, and then Vision goes out into the kitchen, and Wanda throws the lobsters out
Mm.
because why not? So then they have like no food, so Mr. and Mrs. Hart were going to go home,
Yeah,
and he was very disappointed with Vision. And
yeah.
then
It's not a good look.
Wanda, yeah, then Wanda comes out with breakfast food.
Yeah, breakfast for dinner. What a
Yeah,
novel concept.
I believe those were the exact words that Mr. Hart used.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
I believe so. Anyway, so yeah, that happens. They start eating, and then Mr. Hart starts choking.
Yeah.
Well, after they start questioning Wanda and Vision, and it sort of gets like really tense,
Yeah,
and
they
then
they
Mr. Hart
ask
starts choking.
they ask what their story is. How did they come to Westview? When did they marry? And of course, Wanda doesn't have any of the answers for some reason. And then Arthur Hart starts choking on his pancake or something,
Yeah.
and it is really uncomfortable. It like
Mm.
he's choking for like a full minute or something.
Yeah,
It,
it's a long time of
if
just
it
his wife going, "Stop it, Arthur."
yeah, if it wasn't a full minute, it felt like it. My goodness, this show is good at instilling dread. Uh, um,
It very much tried to fit. It very much felt like Wanda didn't want them to press this anymore. You kind of got to wonder where the link is there.
Yeah, you've
well,
got to kind of wonder whether wonder when you look, you got to
well,
kind of wonder whether she was sort of the one who maybe like tried to get him to stop talking, but
well,
obviously
well.
didn't have a full decision on how to do it.
Just before Mr. Hart started choking, Wanda did give him a bit of a side glance, like a tiny bit. So
Yeah,
maybe she had a hand to play, but
maybe she just tried to stop him talking, but the way it happened was he started choking.
I don't
Obviously, I
know.
don't think it was
It
her
doesn't
intention to
seem
kill him.
it doesn't seem like something Wanda would do. But also at
No.
this is the first point in the TV show where we get something that isn't sitcom. We get something
Yeah.
a bit different than sitcom, which is good. It's a bit of a hint as to what the show will become. It's a bit to kind of grab the people expecting normal MCU fare. But
Yeah.
So Wanda gets Vision to help use his powers and get the pancake out of. I say pancake, I'm not sure it was a pancake. To get it out of Mr. Hart's throat.
Yeah,
Which
and then
Mr.
it
Hart
sort of
somehow doesn't notice.
yeah, no, it
Well,
sort of just cuts to them leaving
yeah,
after that.
yeah.
There was like no fallout from it.
Yeah, maybe Wanda used her reality powers to um, go forward in time or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Is that when
um,
they have the ad break?
no, the ad break was earlier on in the episode.
Yeah,
I
we didn't
thought.
talk about that. This is the toaster, isn't it?
Yeah, the toaster with the singular red light.
Yes.
Like the only bit of color seems to be leaking through.
Yes. All of this episode is in complete black and white, except for the Marvel logo at the start, but that doesn't count. Um, except
I
for a
believe it
little.
was a Stark toaster as well.
Yeah. Except
Yeah.
yeah, a little Stark toaster, and this is a bit of a reference to how, of course, Vision is a
No,
Stark toaster.
I thought. Now this is my theory behind it. It was a reference to the missile in Wanda and Pietro's house when they were kids, because the beeping sounded sort of like where it got faster at the end, like a missile was going to blow up.
Right, I kind of thought that was just to build tension, but yeah, there's a bit of beeping coming from the toaster. Toaster, great, and yeah, there's a bit of beeping in time with when the light lights up, which would low-key be a terrible toaster design to do because it's just a bit scary. Imagine your kid is trying to make some toast and thinks his toaster's going to blow up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyway.
I think it's a bit of a reference to how Vision
Yeah.
is literally something created from Stark and an
I
inanimate
thought it was a
object.
missile, but whatever.
Well, if it has two meanings, great.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, besides that, that's kind of where the episode ends, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, no,
wait,
that
no,
sort
no,
of
no, no.
is. Oh,
No, no,
well, Wanda makes them wedding rings, from
yes.
my understanding. That was like the last bit.
Yeah, just kind of clicks them into existence.
And then they say the line that's been in almost every trailer up to this point: "We are an unusual couple."
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
Yeah. So then it sort of zooms out and the sort of credits roll, and then we see someone watching it on a TV.
Yeah, we see someone. So the aspect ratio goes back to normal Marvel fare. So we're outside of this kind of sitcom, and someone's just watching it on a TV. It's a bit weird. So maybe
Yeah.
while we're watching it, the people of the MCU are also watching it.
Yeah. Anyway, Chris,
Chris,
final
you've been
thoughts and ratings.
quiet.
I quite enjoyed it. It's sort of quite a nice slapstick, like the bit at the end. I think where the lobster that kind of got thrown out the window suddenly appears as a fancy new door handle.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Hmm.
hmm
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'd
something
give it
that-
an 8. I'd
Cool.
give it an 8.
8.
'Cause it was good fun
Okay.
to watch.
Right. Okay. So it was different to normal MCU.
In a
Which I
good
think
way?
is good because in a good way, because it's sort of like, obviously, I'm not going to say all of the MCU is the same, but it all follows the same sort of principle. Like all the solo stuff, really.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, it was a nice change of pace. Obviously, it's not something if it didn't have Wanda and Vision in, there was no way I was going to watch a 1950s sitcom. But
Oh, well,
I enjoyed it.
one of these days I'll
So
get you to watch a 1950s sitcom just to prove you wrong.
I'm gonna go with 8 out of 10.
Right. I really enjoy this, actually. Yeah, it's a step away from normal MCU fare, but in a really good way. I really enjoyed it. I really think this was a good debut for Marvel TV. Josh, don't contradict me on that. This is a debut for Marvel TV.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. This
Yeah.
is the debut of Marvel TV
Studios.
overseen by Kevin Feige and all that.
Yeah.
A sign
Obviously,
of
there's
good
been
things to
stuff
come.
previously,
Yeah.
but it was sort of a separate division.
Yeah.
So,
Of course, ABC had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was the first Marvel MCU television show, I believe.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Did Agent Carter start? No, I think it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, that was
first.
after.
Yeah.
Agent Carter was like 2017 or something, whereas Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was like 2013.
Wow, really? Was it that far?
I'm sure it was 2013 because it came out just after the Avengers,
Wow.
a year after. So, but anyway, yeah. What's your rating?
9 out of 10. Which might be our highest rating
No.
yet.
No, it's
No?
joint highest
Oh, really?
with the Human Nature prologue
Ooh,
for you.
yes.
That was your rating for it.
Well, when you do the ratings, you should do like a combined rating out of 30, if you can.
What do you mean out of 30? Oh,
Just,
yeah.
just
right,
add
for
all our
us
ratings.
combined.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I kind of wonder, just come
okay.
dine with me.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can get. Do you want me to start doing that now or just for next time?
Well, you can probably just quickly do it.
Yep, okay. So for
No.
that, it was. I mean, I know it's a simple addition, but it's almost.
I thought you were doing
9
this on an.
o'clock,
I thought
so-
you were doing this on an Excel spreadsheet. Surely
Oh,
you could
yeah,
just.
I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
And we'll find out next week who goes home with the £1,000 cash prize.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you,
Right,
Dave
okay.
Lamb.
The total is 25 for this one.
Right, that's probably the highest of any episode so far.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
The next highest was 22, which was Human Nature prologue.
Ah, right. Anyways, let's move. Also, we should probably note, we kind of didn't know this, but this is the first non-Doctor Who thing we're covering for the podcast. This was at Joshua's request. Josh wanted to cover WandaVision, and I obliged. Um, never let anyone say this ain't a democracy. Kind of. Right, but now we're moving on to episode 2 of WandaVision.